What's up? How you doing? Here we are. Beautiful day. Beautiful day today. So I got some of this Liquid Death iced tea. Again, I'm gonna have some because it was very good. Really enjoyed it. Get some ice in there, let it cool down a bit. So, gonna have a meal here. This steak here is a little bit over 2 inches thick. I'll pick it up right here. So that's a nice steak. It's grass-fed and organic. So it's grass-fed, beginning to end of life, and organic. That's all I can say. Gonna have a meal there and cook it lightly. Do like this one here, I don't know, 7 minutes each side, and then I do a cross bar where I do about 1 minute and 15 seconds on each side because it's a thick steak. So today I was watching something on the internet. Anyway, I was watching something Lee Majors. I wish I had seen this earlier. It's from 3 months ago, but Lee Majors was showing the original prop, the arm from the opening sequence of the $6 Million Man. And it's up for auction, or it was up for auction. I think they've already auctioned it off because I went and looked at the website and I don't see it anymore. The only thing I see from the show is Lee Majors, Steve Austin's running shoes that they used when he would go running. So those are up for auction. But man, I wish I saw that arm. That was probably expensive. If it's no longer around, that had to go for, I want to say 10 grand. That's what I'm thinking. It may have gone for a lot more. What a cool show that was as a kid. That show had the biggest impact on me. Gave you that feeling. It's tough to describe what a show means to you. Only that it gave you a special feeling inside, and I can't describe that feeling unless you had the exact same experience, and there's no way of knowing that. You know, you don't know what feeling somebody feels. Just because you have a feeling doesn't mean it matches someone else's, but it gave me this feeling inside when I would watch that show, and I could not get enough. I mean, if that show was on today and I was that age, I would save it and probably watch it throughout the week. I'd memorize all the lines, but back then you couldn't do that. You had to be there when it played because there was no way of recording it and watching it later, or watching it again and again and again. You'd become obsessed. But yeah, I was a crazy fan. I mentioned before that I would run in slow motion. How ridiculous I must have looked to the rest of the world. But I was a kid, you know, so they probably said, ah, he's a kid. But if I did that now, they'd probably lock me up somewhere. Oh man, that's good. I like it because not only is it good quality tea, but it's also low in sugar. It's only this whole thing here, 30 calories. 30 calories. I could walk from here to the corner and burn 30 calories if I had some weight, you know, carrying a couple of bricks with me. So the thing with this is grass-fed. You get the other ones that are corn-fed. In my opinion, I mean, there is a difference in flavor, but if I were to grade in terms of flavor, I would have to give the corn one a slight edge in terms of flavor. Slight edge. But I think this one is better for you. But who really knows? That's the one thing I wish I could meet Lee Majors in real life. That would make my year. See these dragonflies. I don't know. There's a butterfly. I don't know if they're being chased by the dragonfly. But I would love to meet Lee Majors in real life. Just such an influence on my childhood. Big part of it. And all the kids in those days loved the $6 Million Man. But I was a couple of steps ahead of everyone in terms of fascination with the show. I mean, everybody liked it, but I was crazy about it. There was a time I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid. I said, I know what I want to be. I want to be part of the space program. And then you realize it's a lot of years of school for that. Chances of them picking you are slim. There's so many people that sign up for that. But yeah, that was my dream early in life, was to be an astronaut, just like the $6 Million Man. What a cool show, though. I remember the first time I saw it, the feeling it gave me. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. My father was visiting someone, and we were in the kitchen. It was me, my father at a round table, and the husband and wife. My father was talking, and then they were talking. And at one point, the wife said to me, "Why don't you go in that room? My sons are in there. They're watching television. Why don't you join them?" I didn't know who these sons were, and I was like, unnecessary. I said no, and then she asked again, only this time she opened up the door, and I saw two kids. One was I think a year or two older than me, and the other one was like 3 or 4 years older, and they were on the rug. There was no furniture in that room. The television set was on the rug. They were on the rug, and they were like sitting like this watching the show, which I didn't know what it was. And I said, okay, if you insist. So I went in there, they turned around, they gave me like one of these waves. I waved back, and then I saw this show, which immediately, like that, I was into it. And the scene was Steve Austin escaping from some building, and there were these bars on the window, and he was bending them. And I go, wow, that's so cool. Jeez, he's bending these bars. What's the story behind this guy? And then he was running and everything, and from that point on, I was hooked. Now I watch movies and shows like, interesting, but they don't give you that feeling that those shows in the old days gave you as a kid. So, but that's my dream, to meet Lee Majors in real life. Just a few minutes. I'm not gonna sit there and have a discussion about, world events. Just gonna tell him, what a big part of my childhood he was. A lot of noise out there. There were a few people back then that had, quite an impact on kids my age growing up. $6 Million Man was one. Evel Knievel was another one. Evel Knievel, every kid back then was fascinated, especially the boys. That's why we all jumped our bikes, because of him. I mean, who would have thought of jumping your bike if it was not for Evel Knievel? I'm trying to think anybody else sticks out like that. I don't think so. I mean, nobody from 8 is Enough. I used to watch that show, 8 is Enough. They lived in Sacramento. And then the other show that had an impact on me, The Odd Couple. I don't know what it was. Something about that show gave me a feeling inside. It was almost like, oh, I see. I was always thinking, what is this world that all of a sudden I find myself in? You know, I always used to think, where am I? What's going on here? What is like the mystery of this place? You know, I thought The Odd Couple was like a view into the mystery of what was about to come in the future. You know, how things were going to be. I guess I thought you get an apartment somewhere in the city and you live there, and then you walk around during the daytime. But the theme song for The Odd Couple spoke to me. And even now when I hear the theme song and I see the opening of that show, it brings me back and gives me that feeling again. Anyway, I want to put this steak on the grill and cook it. I've already added the salt on that, so it's saltified. All right, that's it for now. Ciao.